Welcome to the forecast. To my right, we have AP18. Alex, how you doing?
Hello, everybody.
And to my left, GW himself. Garrett, how you doing?
Doing good.
It's the Wednesday Comics Forecast. My name is Marvin. We're here to talk about the comic books coming out this week in November for November 14th, 2018. That is the week right before Thanksgiving. Gobble, 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 gobble. Here we go. Image Comics, what we got first here is Birthright number 33, Joshua Williamson, Andrea Bresson. Alex, you're the Birthright person on this podcast. How's it going so far?
You know, that book is really, really good. I think it's one of those things that I've been missing. Have been on a hiatus, and I'm jumping right back into it, and it looks amazing. I tell you what, that Bresson art is fantastic. Not missed a single beat, hasn't missed a single issue. And I love this book. Marvin got me turned towards this book. I read it, and I think this is a book that you guys both should be reading, or at least could be reading. And I think you're kind of missing out if you almost want that little tie-in of fantasy / in the modern world. I love this book.
How do you know I'm not reading it? You don't know my life.
Yeah, and I have the first two trades. You don't know my life either.
Oh, I know a lot about you. 6 hours of looking for a stupid horse.
It was 5, so
Bitterroot,
check yourself.
Number 1, David Walker, Chuck Brown, Sanford Green. This is David Walker and Sanford Green were the team on Power Man and Iron Fist at Marvel, but here they have a new book. In 1920s, the Harlem Resistance is in full swing, and only the Sangre family can save New York and the world from supernatural forces threatening to destroy humanity. But the once great family of monster hunters has been torn apart by tragedies and conflicting moral codes. The Sangre family must heal their wounds of the past and move beyond their differences, or sit back and watch the force of unimaginable evil ravage the human race. So there you go. A new Image number 1 coming out tomorrow. So, Coyotes, number 8. This is Sean Lewis, Caitlin Yarsky. Garrett, what do you think? Coyotes and the 8th issue already.
One of the best series out there. I think if you are a fan of werewolves and you like that mythology, like, this is the book for you. Yes, I know the book is called Coyotes or Coyotes, as the weirdos call it. But it's like very much so like coyotes are the dumbed down versions of werewolves. So the source is werewolves that brings out these coyotes, and there's these this other faction which is led by the grandmas. For some reason, grandmas take out werewolves. But it's just really rich story, and the main character is just really fun to follow her path, like experiencing these monsters for the first time.
Here we go. We got a one-shot here. Elizabeth Doom against the Devils in Suits. This is Aberson. Elizabeth Doom is a strong, rebellious girl who's determined to make her own way, get things too, because her father long ago promised her to the devil, and he's come to claim what's his. This is a story that will haunt you long after you turn the final page. Part horror adventure, part surreal dreamscape. The original graphic novella features the amazing artwork from the new Brazilian sensation Aberson, with the translation by Eisner Award-winning writer James Robinson. So here you go, a little one-shot if you're looking for something new tomorrow this week from that does actually not sound like a bad premise, and we'll see how my week's going so far. So far, I got nothing, so that might be on the list for me, but we'll see. But this is on my list. Gideon Falls, number 8. This is Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, Original Sins, Part 2, as the gossamer threads that appear to connect Father Fred and Norton across space and time become more intertwined. Norton suffers a mental setback that could jeopardize both their investigations. Alex, what do you think? First off, I know that cover. What you're going to say? Fantastic. But what do you think about this book, Gideon Falls?
I like how you stepped on the one thing that you knew I was going to say first. Is first of all, I love that cover.
I got to cut you from the legs.
I love this book. I think it's one of those strongest books coming from Jeff. As we said, a bazillion times before. This is the year of Jeff Lemire, number 2. That's 2 years in a row this man has written books 8 hours a day, nails them out, and they're always so strong and so good. I think that my favorite part about it is it's actually got that horror aspect. It's a a genre that I don't see from Jeff, and you actually don't see as often in comic books. And so far, he's been sticking to it, and I think that's a very strong choice on his part. And that Sorrentino art is spectacular.
Muy fantastico. Skyward number 8. This is Joe Henderson Lee Gabbert. Garrett, what do you think? Skyward. We're also at issue 8 on Skyward here. I see here in the sky eating burger. Tomato flying in the air. What does that mean? What's going on?
Well, in this book, the norm is there is no gravity. This series has, I think, been a surprise because I didn't think that the concept would be super dense, but actually there's a lot of story to tell in this world where gravity is seamless, basically. Main character is really fun. The story is exciting. It's more of an action thriller than I thought it was going to be. So I'm really enjoying this book, and I know it is on issue 8, but I think everyone should go back and get the first trade and then maybe read the second one. It should be coming out soon too, because this is just a really, really fun book.
I think my one hope for Skyward is that we get through this action arc, or maybe an arc and a half, and then I kind of wanted to dial down just a little bit of just her living life in this land without gravity, and just to see how life is, because we're getting thrown into stuff. We've seen how rain is. We know that the bugs grow huge. But I just want to see her life, and maybe we'll do a flashback, hopefully, on what life would have been like without gravity.
Here he is, the man himself on the podcast, the Weatherman. Jody LaHemp and Nathan Fox. End of the story arc. Agent Cross finds herself in a battle to the death to save the life of the man who may be responsible for the million of billions. Oh, excuse me, murder of billions. But if Nathan Bright dies, it's been a rough day. If Nathan Bright dies, so does what's left of humanity. Don't miss the shocking conclusion of the first chapter in Weatherman. Alex, what do you think, Weatherman? How's it going?
I've loved this book since issue 1. I will admit I am one issue behind. I have issue 5. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But this book is so unfamiliar that I think that's what makes me really excited. Normally I don't care for space things, and this does take place in space. Obviously the biggest tie-in to me is the fact that I am the weatherman on the forecast here, and to have a book literally named after me, it just fills my heart with joy and love. There's no sign of rain. It's all sunniness in this dark void I call my chest. So aces.
Alex, you say that you don't like space, but I'm pretty sure that Mercury is your favorite planet.
I'm also a fan of those water planets.
Here we go, Dark Horse Comics. I wanted to mention a couple that we have in here. God of War number 1 of 4, so we get a mini-series for the new God of War. Chris Robinson, Tony Parker, Dan Jackson. Kratos' God of War has returned. His war on gods of Olympus. Long past, Kratos builds a new life for himself in the remote Norse wilds, seeking to put a rage that defined him most of his life behind. Kratos inadvertently sparks a feud with the mysterious cult of berserkers after attempting to save a stranger from being mauled by a mysterious bear. But the former ghost of Sparta, no good deed goes unpunished. So this is set, it looks like, just judging, I don't know. I played the game. That sounds like it's a prequel. So if you want to look at that little mini God of War, if not, Quantum Age of the World, the Black Hammer number 4. This is Jeff Lemire, where Alfredo Torres, with the original plan seemingly foiled, the current ragtag team of Quantum Leaguers travels to a mysterious land and discovers a long-forgotten foe with crucial ties to it. The Eisner Award-winning Black Hammer series. Garrett, you caught up with Black Hammer? Quantum Age?
With Quantum Age, yeah. This is one book that it comes out very, very slow. It's only been 4 issues, and I feel like issue 3 came out 2 or 3 months ago. It is a really good series. I mean, it's interesting to see this universe that we've come to know, but in the future. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in the current Black Hammer book. So I don't know what's true anymore or what's right. And I wish this series came before the big reveal on Black Hammer, because now I don't know if this is all fake or if it's real, and it's just very confusing.
Oh, okay. So there's a big reveal in issue 3, at least, that I actually sparked my excitement for this book. Is that there's a character from Black Hammer, the first run, that she got brought back, and I'm so excited to see her. Can I just spoil it for you? It's Takiwaki.
Yeah, I read it.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Marvin if I could spoil it for him. He's not reading the book.
Go
You
ahead.
said you.
Well, you could have been synonymous with either of you, or even our listeners. Anyway, Takiwaki's in it. I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually pretty exciting. And I would assume this takes place almost at the same time.
Same time as what?
As the main storyline.
No, it's in the future.
Who's to say they're not in the future?
I guess good call.
Boom.
But he's a walkie-talkie. Sorry, she is a robot. So I don't know. I'm not putting all the eggs in that basket.
Holy shit! She's Ultron.
Here we go. DC Comics, Catwoman number 5, Joel Jones. You think those two people? I think it's one. Secret Hideout is supposed to be just that, secret. So how did new villain's criminal crew know where to plant an explosive in Selina's new pad? As if that blow up weren't enough, bad cops come calling and arrest Selina for murder. Locked up without bail, Catwoman finds that she isn't very popular in jail. And must fight the other inmates just to stay alive and avoid the Shiv. But will she make a deal with her new nemesis, that cagey Creole? Or is orange the new black for Selina's foreseeable future? Alex, what do you think, Catwoman? How's it going so far for you?
I still love Catwoman. I think Joelle Jones knows how to write this book. The art has always been spectacular, and even when it's not just Joelle Jones doing the art, it still looks great. I like Catwoman, and I think the best thing about it is this book it kind of reminisces from what had happened in Batman 50, but is just focused on her figuring out how she wants to be after the fact. So I'm so excited for this book to be on my stack this week.
I remember when you really enjoyed the last issue as a flashback, kind of, and paid homage to Catwoman's runs in the past and kind of tied everything together. So I am really looking forward to this issue to see how it continues on. So, Detective Comics 992, we're 8 issues away from that 1,000. But this is James Robson, Carmine G. Dean D'Amico. There's a new dynamic duo in Gotham City introducing Batman and Two-Face. What the what? The Dark Knight is forced to team with an old friend and current enemy, Harvey Dent, to stop a Cobra-sponsored terrorist attack. Can Batman really trust his life to a coin flip? Even worse, Bats and Two-Face are two minds over recruiting the new two Fireflies for help. If Batman's going to work with so many villains, he might as well join the Legion of Doom. What do you think, Gary? Should he join them or not?
Absolutely not. So I just read issue 991, and this actually has been all right. James Robinson leaks out a little bit when like Batman's talking, because Batman talks like this Victorian English kind of guy, and it's super, I don't know, he just talks really weird, but I think he does write Two-Face really strong. He does bring a lot of things from the past with Harvey, Batman, and Harvey, Batman, and the Commissioner working together to solve crimes, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a very weird layer Two-Face story where it's kind of like when Hulk took over Bruce Banner's body, and Bruce Banner was you never saw Bruce Banner except for when Hulk was sleeping. It's kind of the same thing with Two-Face, is that Harvey Dent is up to his own machinations, and Two-Face is unaware of what they are, because for a brief amount of time, Harvey Dent takes over the Two-Face persona. So the art, I think, can't even say his last name, but the artist from The Flash, like, he does add a really cool layer to this book. I think for where maybe they knew that James Robinson was the writer, so they're like, we better up the art team, because otherwise we're going to lose people on this book. Because Steven Segovia did great art on the first part of this arc, and then now D and for Jamina Kakoko is doing pretty good on the second part.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, but just how slow you had to say it, and it just made me laugh. Sorry.
Oh, no, I totally butchered it on purpose, because I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Jima Kakokiko?
Cockapoo.
Electric Warriors, number 1 of 6, Steve Orlando, Travel Foreman. I have no clue what this is. A new tale of the future DC universe set in an unexpected timeline, the Cosmic Dark Age. Years after the Great Disaster, the Earth has started to rebuild and rejoin the Universe Coalition. In order to prevent a galactic war, different worlds throughout the known cosmos has created a new system of competitive combat to each participating planet. Their own voice in the intergalactic struggle, each world has one diplomatic gladiator, chosen to process the electric seed and fight for their homeland as the electric warrior. Each fighter forsakes their personal life in the name of peace. So what happens when Earth can't choose a single combatant and sends 2 instead? The Bruiser Warcry represents the humans on Earth, while Deep Dweller, a shapeshifter from the Octopus tribe, represents the animal kingdom. Can they maintain one common goal, or will they tear Earth's tenuous coexistence to shreds and destroy the rest of the universe with it? Oh, and Warcry also has a powerful relic from Earth's past, Superman's cape. This is a miniseries. Actually looks pretty cool. It's set in the DC universe, but it's not really about those characters. It's kind of like what we were talking about a while back, like having stories set in that universe that are not really about the main heroes, but there's hints to that they're in that universe. That's cool. We'll see here. Flash, number 58, Joshua Williamson and Rafa Sodoval. Oh, God, he's on this book now. Force Quest Part 1. Garrett, how's Flash so far?
It's been really great. I think we all agree that the story kind of took a dip for a small amount of time, and now it's kind of back at its strongest. Yes, Flash is dealing with all these forces, but he's also there's just so much Flash mythology going on right now. We just had a huge storyline with Wally West, and now we're dealing with the ramifications of sort of Heroes in Crisis mixed with again, him trying to handle all these different, the Strength Force, Sage Force, Phantom Force, the Jedi Force, I don't know, all these forces that he clearly knows all the names to. But it is interesting that they've established a new mythology for the Flash, and that's always, the Flash's strong point is when they're incorporating new mythology into this book. So loving it a lot, and Sandoval is a great artist that we've seen on, I think he was doing Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, so that's cool that he's going to be on this book.
Yes, I enjoyed his art in that book, so that's why I'm excited to see what he'll do with Flash. But maybe I'll jump back on. Who knows? Mr. Miracle number 12 of 12. This is Tom King, Mitch Gerads. It'll be a miracle if you can get through this mind-bending conclusion with your sanity intact after his epic battle with Darkseid. Scott Free sees life as a whole new way. He's the new High Father of New Genesis, and he's madly in love with his wife and child. But what if it's all a lie? Did Mr. Miracle really escape death way back in issue number 1? No one really knows but Tom King and Mitch Gerads. Alex, does that really... Remember I talked about what I thought this book was going to end? Does that kind of confirm that?
You know what? The one thing is that it could be telling you one thing in the solicitation, and it could be a whole different other option. Like I said, Tom King and Mitch are the only ones who know how the story is going to end, unless it gets leaked 2 days before the book comes out. So then everyone else will know, and I will be pissed. Anyway, I think this is one of those books that only Tom King could have written. I'm excited. I think Tom King knows how to end a book. I know he finished up Vision spectacularly. It was beautifully written. I think we can do the same thing in this book, and I am super amped to get into this, and I'm actually kind of excited to lose my sanity, so bring it. The Weatherman is insane.
It's literally, I think, that solicitation, there's no way that they're going to tell you flat out what the ending of the story is, so I think that they're just doing that to subvert what's actually going to happen, because they just want you to question it. So very excited to see what the conclusion will be, because this has been an incredible story, and I think it's going to be sad to see it go, but at the same time, at least he's got a conclusion and he's going to get there. So let's check it out.
Plastic Man 6 of 6 is Gail Simone and Andrea Mello. Garrett, you in this book, right?
Yeah,
how's
absolutely.
it been so far? What do you think about the conclusion coming up here?
Geez, everything's ending. This book has been really great, and I kind of wish it was sticking around as an ongoing. It's kind of establishing Eel O'Brien as Plastic Man, and kind of talks more about his, love life. So like if there's any moments in the Terrifics, if you read that, he's always alluding to who his girlfriend is or his lady, and it's the girl he's meeting in Plastic Man right now, written by Gail Simone. So it gives more depth to this character, and he's a very comical guy. And there's always saying that the comedian's downfall is they actually had like a really shitty life, so they're always joking about it. So I think that's what it's giving you, that extra layer of story. But yeah, I'm going to be sad to see it go, but I know Gail Simone will definitely nail the landing for the end.
Red Hood, the Outlaw. Scott Lobdell, Pete Woods. Welcome to the Underlight. Jason Todd, you probably won't survive. Banished from Gotham City and estranged from the Outlaws, Red Hood takes up residence in Appleton, a would-be American town that's a secret haven for criminal operators. When Red Hood gets his hands on a crowbar and starts handing out some bloody justice, it really stirs up the hornet's nest. And when a new Underlife member is introduced, Jason's going to get stung by the trouble he's caused. Alex, what do you think, Red Hood Outlaw?
I've enjoyed this. I'm actually a little less excited about this book coming out lately, just for the fact that I loved him working with the Outlaws, and I miss Artemis and I miss Bizarro. I think those two characters really made him a really good, strong character. Gave him something to fight for, and I realized he thinks they're still gone. So that's what he's, having a little struggle with that, and get the shit kicked out of him by Batman. I don't know. This is one of those books that I'm kind of hoping we either get away from all the superhero parts and just let him be the Punisher of the DC comic worlds for the time being, and then eventually pull him back in. I feel like we've gotten away from even him being a badass, and it's just, how much can we tie into Batman? How much can we suggest that he's still part of the Bat family and not just let him be his own character right now?
Garrett, what do you think? Same thing?
I mean, I don't know. I still think his motivations are there. When Bruce last talked to him and he tells him, what happened to what's his Roy. That's still, you can be on your vengeance mission, your most direct path, but when something hits you like that, it's still nice that even if you have animosity with someone that you're close to, that they can still be there for you to push you along. And so I don't think this series was ever going to be Red Hood becoming Punisher murderer, but yeah, I mean, I still think he'll go to those extremes, but he's got to have motivation to do so. So I don't think every single thug that comes across his path, which that's all it's been so far, is just thugs. He's not going to kill everybody. So I think there's more to Jason than that. But I think, once he gets closer to whoever the big bad of the storyline is going to be, there's definitely going to be a lot of murder for sure.
Scooby Apocalypse number 31, Keith Giffen, J.M. Dominus, Pat O'Leaf, and Tom Palmer. Fred's alive. Garrett, what's going on here? I see him on the cover here.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers, but he comes back at this he is a monster, but he's a sentient monster. All the other monsters have slobbered and are super dumb, and Fred's the first one that can actually talk and is basically trying to create a monster gang to go against Scooby and their crew. So it is very exciting. I love this book. It's just so much fun what's going on. I really can't wait to see what happens, and I hope this series goes on for a long time. It is just a fun thrill ride the entire time.
Superman, speaking of Garrett and having fun thrill rides, Brian Michael Bendis, Joel Prado, Ivan Rice, who could tempt Kryptonian criminal General Zod to re-enter the Phantom Zone after years of imprisonment as Superman tries to free himself from the Kryptonian jail and fight off the monster who destroyed Krypton. Zod returns to face Rogol Zar and get vengeance for his dead world and its lost potential. Does that excite you at all, Garrett?
Absolutely not.
Zod versus Rogol Zar. There you go.
No, because there's no way, Zod versus Rogol Zar, Zod wins 100%.
I don't know. This guy destroyed a planet.
Yeah, okay, but destroying a planet doesn't mean that he punched the ground and it destroyed it. He probably planted something. So I don't know. I think Zod versus him. I'm sure they're going to make this Rogolzar almost like seem extra powerful because he's going to probably defeat Zod. But I'm so sick of Rogolzar. Like I can't wait till somebody kills him, which will probably be Supergirl, and then there can be actual good villains back in this book and good storytelling.
Good luck.
Here we go. One I need to bring up because here we are, boys. Wonder Woman number 58. This is G. Willow Wilson, Carrie Nord, with the cover from Terry Dawson and Rachel Dawson. The Just War Part 1. A new era of Wonder Woman begins as best-selling writer G. Willow Wilson makes her return to DC with art star Carrie Nord joining the series. Far below Themyscira, Ares, the god of war, has been imprisoned for generations, repenting for his past sins. But his new cellmate, Grail, may have unexpected effects on him, and the plan they've come up with will change Themyscira and the world forever. When Wonder Woman rushes to Eastern Europe to rescue Steve Trevor from a mission gone wrong, she'll find herself face-to-face with a very new, very different God of War. This is G. Willow Wilson back on Wonder Woman, and I think I'm going to jump back on to see how she does on this book, because I did love her Miss Marvel book. And just having a new person on Wonder Woman, I think it's enough for me to go back. And that doesn't sound like a half bad plot, so we'll see. I'll let you guys know if you guys aren't into it.
I'm going to try it out as well. Like, I think I've read Marvin's rave reviews about this writer, so I will check it out. If I'm getting the same James Robins-y story, then I'll have no problem jumping right back off.
All right, we'll see. It's the first issue, so no harm in dipping your toes in. We'll see. Marvel Comics, here we go. Amazing Spider-Man number 9, Nick Spencer, Huberto Ramos. On the cover here, we got Spider-Man, we got Black Cat, and we got, those are only two. Alex, what do you think of Amazing Spider-Man number 9?
It's the Spider-Man that I've been waiting for, at least a character that I can back behind, and we're finally getting into another new start, this new Thieves Guild, or maybe it's not even a new Thieves Guild, but this Thieves Guild has shown up in the last issue, and now we're going to get some Black Cat, which I think I always find it interesting that Black Cat is still pissed at Spider-Man for what he's done to her in the past, and especially from Superior Spider-Man storyline, where he beat the crap out of her, and she's still pissed about it. That woman holds a grudge.
I'm really ready for that thread to be done. Like, I wish that
I wish they were friends again.
Yeah, with this run, I wish they just got rid of all that. Like, it was just not good, and it's still not good, so it's like, just end that. Get that out of here.
There's Spider-Man for you. Black Order number 1. I was never more excited than when I saw this on the list here. And I have no clue why this is coming out now. It was so late. But Black Order number 1 of 5. And Derek Landy, Philip Tan, from the Infinity War into their own limited series. All this is based on the TV, about the movie. Okay, never mind. There were 5 Dreadlords, Cole Albutson, Thanos' most feared warriors and disciplines, ruthless villains to a 1. The Black Order has been dispatched by the Grand Master to destabilize a burgeoning empire, and along the way they come to realize that as big and bad as they are, they're always someone bigger and badder. The bombastic writing style of novelist Derek Landy and the electric art for the Philip Tan combines for an absolutely unhinged supervillain adventure. I do like these characters. I thought this was based on them in a Hickman's run. Looks like it's not. It's more based on that movie, so this is probably out of continuity, so I might check this out, so we'll see. I do like these characters a lot, so.
There's so many books coming out this week. Like, it does look good, but there's no way that I can get it.
This week is crazy. I didn't even know it was going to be this crazy because at first my choices were limited, but now we're into it. Speaking of which, Captain America number 5, Ta-Nehisi Coates, Lionel Francis Yu, Alex Ross on the cover. Winter in America continues as the noose of betrayal tightens around the necks of Captain America and his closest allies. The power elites makes its move in the person of the immortal Celine. Garrett, what do you think? Captain America number 5.
Really great. I mean, it's probably the best that Captain America's been, and I would say the last 5-6 years. I mean, last time I had this much fun in Captain America was Rick Remender's run, and that wasn't really like classic Captain America by any means. So this is fresh. I mean, you have great art team, great writing team. Yeah, Ta-Nehisi Coates is literally rocking it out of this park because it's just good storytelling. I think they're working on establishing this new villain group, which, okay, on that part, I would say I wish it would move along a little quicker because I'm sick of this exposition. But other than that, like Captain America doing what he's doing, having characters in his book like Sharon Carter doing her stuff, pretty sure something's going to happen or she's going to get young again. Like, I don't know, it's just fun and exciting, and I can't believe it's only on issue 5. Just like I said for Black Panther, it's nuts that you get so excited for a monthly book that feels like it takes forever to come out because of how good it is.
Cosmic Ghost Rider 505. This is the conclusion, the dramatic conclusion. Donny Cates, still in Burton, to the series everyone's talking about, featuring Punisher, Thanos, Punisher, and Thanos, plus more surprises, a few more, some terrible deaths, and maybe a little redemption. Sounds unlikely given who we're talking about. Alex, what do you think? Cosmic Ghost Rider.
First thing, I want there to be a next 5-issue run of just Punisher Thanos. I would love to read the crap out of that book. I think this is one of my favorite books that's coming out recently. It's got those funny notes. It's got that ridiculous Batcrap crazy Punisher Ghost Rider. Just to see all the things that he's trying to do to protect the world and the universe and all the beings of all sorts of lives from the horribleness that is Thanos. You know, he doesn't want him to see violence, doesn't want him to see murder, doesn't want this, and this. And of course, baby Thanos sees everything that he shouldn't be seeing, learns these things, gets turned into Punisher version of himself. And now we got the Punisher, Ghost Rider, going up against his son. Shit's gonna hit the fan.
Here we go. Just for me, right here, boys. Daredevil number 611. Charles Soulful Noto, as Daredevil's crusade against the Kingpin moves into its endgame. The stakes have never been higher, but a mysterious new villain has arrived in Hell's Kitchen with Daredevil squarely in his sights. You guys, here's the thing. I'm watching Daredevil Season 3. Fantastic so far. I got 2 episodes left.
Nice.
This arc so far, this is part of 3. It's been fantastic. This is what I was hoping for the whole time. It took a little dip. Charles took a little dip. But I think this is back to being the good Daredevil that I wanted. And then after this, I don't know who's taking over Daredevil. This is Charles Soule's last arc. And then we'll see who takes it over. But at least right now, it's doing good. That's pretty good. So, Domino, number 8. This is Gail Simone and David Baldwin. Real pain in the neck. We got Morpheus here, not Morpheus. The Living Vampire. Alex, what do you think?
I don't know. I think I'm at least 1 issue behind. I read the annual. It is okay. You know, the weird thing about annuals is that they are either really awesome or they're really just kind of a pain in the ass, a pain in the neck, much like this issue will be. I still think Gail Simone is such a strong writer that this is one of those blind buy books. I was never a fan of Download to begin with, but for Gail, I'll get this book. But to see a known Spider-Man villain show up actually makes me really excited to read this issue. Who knows? Maybe Kraven will show up eventually.
He's a living vampire, so you got to watch out for him. Speaking of books that have been delayed, Fantastic Four number 3, Dan Slott, Sarah Pichelli. Free for all, the Fantastic Four is more than a team; it's a family. When the fate of every multiverse is at stake, that means it's time for the entire family to have a reunion. Everything you've been waiting for. This is in this issue. Guest starring Spider-Man, Wolverine, the Hulk, Ghost Rider, Medusa, Crystal, Luke Cage, and more. Garrett, what do you think? Issue 3, Fantastic Four?
Oh, you mean actually number 1? Because Fantastic Four still hasn't been together yet? I don't know. This book, it's been delayed. It's only on issue 3. I haven't even seen more than a sentence said between all the characters being reunited. I don't know. I'm just very disappointed. I think I'm sick of them. This is should be called Cliffhanger the comic, because it's like all this exposition. Oh, they might actually get to hang out. Nope, just kidding. Next issue. Oh, they might work together as a team. Nah, just kidding. Next issue. Guess what? But you didn't see this coming. 20 old Fantastic Four members. You gonna see them fight? Just kidding. Guess wait. Why do I have to keep waiting for everything? This is dumb.
First off, you watch your mouth and you put some respect in your voice when you talk about Fantastic Four. Second,
no, because it's on the 3rd issue and they're not even working as a team yet.
Second,
I'm sick of it.
I have a question. Did we not talk about 2? When did 2 come out? Am I missing something here, or am I just forgetting?
No, we talked about 2.
We talked about 2. It came out 2 months ago.
Well, let's see. Then I just forgot. I forgot what even happened.
It's been a long time.
Well, sometimes you wait for quality. We'll see how it comes out. So
yeah, I'm still waiting.
I am excited for it, but then also I'm a fan of this character, so I could see being on the other side. It's somebody who you don't really care about, and you kind of want it to. If it's going to be the return, it should have been. You think they would have had time to put this together, but we'll see. I'm not sure what the deal is.
But see, my only thing is that I got to give Garrett credit. He knows that Superman, not the character, but the book right now is shit. I can kind of see the in-between zone of Marvin's blinded by its Fantastic Four.
No, I actually enjoy it.
It's not perfect.
I actually enjoy it. We talked about the first two issues.
Issue 2 was good. Issue 2 was good. I didn't care for issue 1.
I liked 1.
Yeah, well, again, you're blind by the characters.
That's not true. Daredevil, I dropped that book for the first time ever. And because it wasn't good anymore, and now it's good again. So, I'll drop a book if it's not good. You know me. I'm quick draw McGraw on that. So I'm out of here.
I've seen you drop books that are good. So.
This is like the Where's Waldo, the Fantastic Four comics.
Sometimes Fantastic Four means more than just those 4. Sometimes it's a family that is extended. And that's what
maybe they shouldn't call it the Fantastic Four anymore.
Well, sometimes you gotta. Star Wars
Future Foundation.
Darth Vader number 23. This is Charles Soule and Jacopsy Comicola. Fortress Vader Part 5. Garrett, what do you think? How's Darth Vader?
It's really fun time right now because this is kind of the origin of Darth Vader's fortress that you saw in Rogue One. He basically is building his fort over a source of Sith energy. That's why the top of his tower kind of looks like a tuning fork. It's really cool. And this is just the beginning of Darth Vader's rise to power, basically. And it is really fun. The art's amazing. And this story is just incredible. If you're a huge Darth Vader fan, this is the book for you.
Here we go. Uncanny X-Men number 1. This is Ed Brisson, Kelly Thompson, Matthew Rosenberg, Mamo Dassor, Mark Bagley, Marco Kolak. The Children of the Atom are back. New ongoing series kicking off with a 10-part weekly epic. The flagship X-Men series that started it all is back and better than ever, starting with a mysterious and tragic disappearance. The X-Men are drawn into what might be their final adventure. X-Men favorite writers Ed Brisson, Matthew Rosenberg, Kelly Thompson, and all-star artists Asor, Kenar, and Perez join forces to bring you X-Men Disassembled. Let me ask you guys a question. I know all of us, if this was a new ongoing and this was the start of it, we'd all be interested somewhat. Uncanny X-Men. We all like X-Men. I know at some point, all 3 of us actually like the cartoon show and the movies for the most part. Not all of them, for the most part. Does it interest any of you to start a new ongoing series with a 10-part weekly story?
God, no.
I have 2 words about this, and it's fuck this. Okay? I'm going to throw... So Marvel was earning respect to my book, and then I saw this bullshit. I was so excited for this comic. And then you're going to open up this comic, $8. I am not going to pay a new normal. I've already been doing $5.99 on all your damn issue number 1s. Now I got to pay $2 extra for a weekly story. So you're going to kill me on the first issue, and then you're going to keep stealing my money for the next 9 weeks.
I'm curious what issue 2 is going to be priced at. Is it going to be $3.99? Let's say it's $3.99. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're going to go down to the nice cheap price of $3. Listen to me for a second. That's $4 for 9 issues. That right there is going to be $36. Plus this $8. You're spending $40-some on a story that one day will come out in a trade that's $15. So I don't understand how this is supposed to get anybody on this book. I do have interest in this. We all have interest in X-Men.
If it was $3.99, even if it was $4.99, I would get it.
That's what I mean.
Above that,
we have interest in these characters, these writers, these artists, but I don't understand why you would start it this way. Maybe with a 10-part thing we'll go past, and then because this is the actual start of the book. It's Uncanny X-Men number 1. It's not some mini-series. It's just starting out this way. So the first 10 issues will come out weekly. And I don't know. I am interested in this book. I'm not interested in the way they're going to be putting out this book. When I heard about this, I was like, oh, I'm excited. Uncanny X-Men. And then I heard what was happening with this. I like all those writers. but I'm not interested in the way that Marvel decides to put this out. So,
Yeah, their money's leaking.
I think one thing for me is that, okay, half these characters are on 7 other teams. That if you're going to make an Uncanny X-Men book, literally just have them be on the one team. You know what you should do is bring back the original, or not even the originals. Bring back the 1990s cartoon characters. Let Wolverine, Cyclops, Jubilee, Gambit, Rogue, Storm, Beast. Let all these people come back together as one team, and they are only on this team. And then every time that issue starts, do the little bit of da-da-da-da-da, and I just want that to be the intro for when I get into this issue.
Yeah, right. They'd be thrown in an event, and the book could be canceled.
Well, that's the thing is that, like, even right now we're talking about Uncanny Avengers or Uncanny X-Men, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I really give a crap. I almost don't want to get Astonishing X-Force or X-Men anymore. Because what's the point? It's going to get either thrown away, it's going to be tossed on the side, or again, it's going to get brought into a tie-in that it literally doesn't need to be a part of. And that's the one thing I hate about the X-Men the most. They get brought into everything, and they're the big catalyst for all sorts of fights, or all sorts of battles, or all sorts of world-ending domination. Who gives a shit? Let these people be their own characters for even 2 years. And only have one book out of them. We don't need 97 different X-Men books. I don't need 97 Wolverine or Batman books. Make one book and be done with it.
Venom number 8, Donny Cates, Iban. I agree with most of that. Iban Kalo, the Abyss continues. After the gut-wrenching events of last issue, Eddie Brock finds himself alone for the first time in a long time, and the silence is deafening. A can't-miss issue of those looking to see the beginning of the next summer's Venom epic. Alex, what do you think? Venom number 8.
You know more about X-Men? Okay, I'm done. Venom 7 was fine. It wasn't as explosive as we had gotten in the past 6 issues. I'm hoping that Donny Cates, and I'm trying to give him my full trust. I think he's a strong writer, knows how to give this character a little bit more flair. I'm hoping we're getting into that explosive next summer storyline that keeps me drawn into this Venom so that I continually want to say, we are Venom, and be excited. But as of right now, I'm kind of in a weird dull stage at this book, going, okay, well, what new can you do to really bring me and keep me on this book?
I think you just keep expecting him to leave after 6 issues. Like, I think he's going to be on this one a while. And so he's trying, like, that first arc was so explosive, so much adrenaline, so much action, that you need time to kind of reconnect with the main character and kind of make him go through a hero's journey. You can't just, like, throw him, like, out of the frying pan into the fire. You got to have him do...
You're telling me that Donny Cates is going to do what I want to be done in Skyward? Where we take a step back and we tell me a story? Holy shit.
Well, yeah, but you always say every time we talk about it, you're like, I think he's only does like 6 issues or whatever. And I think you're expecting that he's going to keep more adrenaline because he does short arcs.
That's what he does.
But I think this is one he's definitely sticking on for a while. So I think he can take an arc to reconnect the character with who he is.
Hey, go. Power Rangers number 14. This is Ryan Perrett. Eleonora Calini, Dan Moore on that cover, obviously. Separated for the first time since beginning Power Rangers, the teams must use their wits and inner strength to overcome the odds and distance between them, just as Rita Repulsa comes even closer to unearthing her ultimate weapon. Gary, what do you think? Go, Power Rangers.
So when Shattered Grid happened, there's a lot of different universes of Power Rangers in that book and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And so this one is definitely just about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the original 5.
We call that the OG.
Yeah, the OG. So that's really fun, connecting with those characters. There's some changes coming their way when they have to experience being further apart. I think it's for like summer vacation or something. But again, this book is focusing on those characters, not necessarily them as Power Rangers. It is a really great book, and those Dan Mora covers are always amazing.
Garrett, answer me this. More importantly, riddle me this. Was issue 13 any good? I haven't read it yet. I have it. But this is one of those books that I'm almost tempted to drop once I saw Dan Mora wasn't on the art. And so I haven't read 13 yet. Is it worth my time?
Oh, absolutely it is. I think So basically, after a huge event like Shattered Grid happens, like this is them like reconnecting as friends, as teammates. I mean, that's what this book's always been about. It's about their lives. It's not about necessarily 100% them as Power Rangers. So I think for sure that you would still enjoy this. And the art is actually, it's not Dan Mora, but it's still really great. So I definitely think you should at least read 13 before you drop it, because it is definitely worth it.
Okay. I was going to give you a snarky remark, and then I was like, no, you're saying things that at least interest me, so I'll listen to it. Okay, I'll give it a read.
Alex, this week we got a lot to choose from. What do you think is going to be your pick of the week?
Oh, crap. I don't know. Marvin, you put me on the spot, and I can't think that quick on what I would want to read.
Cole,
come back to me.
Garrett, what do you think?
I'm going with Mr. Miracle number 12. Definitely going to be one of the most exciting conclusions of a story I think any of us have ever read. It's sad that it's come to an end, but we knew it was coming. And it's kind of cool to see what can happen next with Tom King. You know, he always likes to write a side character, so we'll see who he has next after this. And then also, like, how does this storyline dive into Heroes in Crisis, which is where we're going to see this character next, and Barda. So definitely looking forward to this, and who knows what's going to happen, but I know by the time we get to the other side of the cover, it's going to be an emotional ride.
Alex, what do you think?
I think I'm going to do Cosmic Ghost Rider number 5. We're wrapping up the storyline, much like Garrett talked about. We're finishing up some books this week, and I think this is one of those books I'm excited to see how we end.
I'm going to go with Gideon Falls number 8. Gideon Falls probably is one of my favorite books coming out right now, and I just expect that number 8 is going to be fantastic, as always. Jeff Lemire. Hopefully, it feels like it lasts longer than the last issue. Last issue flew by. It doesn't mean it was any shorter. It just means good quality. Alex, the weather outside, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's freezing cold out there. Sometimes I feel like, let me know if I'm incorrect, that Mr. Freeze has taken over. And he's spraying the city down. He necessarily hasn't put ice in the ground, but he has his air conditioning turned on, and that's what's happening, right?
Well, I thought you were going to lend into the weather outside is frightful, and I tell you what, it is frightful. It's not even because it's snowy or icy. It's because it can be 50 one day and then 4 degrees the next with that wind chill. It's cold. This is how people get sick. Everyone tells you don't get a cold because you get chilly, but you do. All those rapid changes in the temperature, we weren't made anymore to withstand these weird temperature changes.
And so, you know what?
Get your coats
also,
on, wear your sweatshirts.
Alex, since you mentioned
what Marvin tells you.
Since you mentioned it, I have to legally say chili today, hot tamale. Garrett, what do you think? How them roads doing? How they holding up to this coldness?
There are so many comics coming out this week. You're definitely going to make sure that the back end of your car or pickup or whatever is empty, because it's going to be weighed down by some comics. And it won't do so well against those potholes. So you might want to order some Dominoes on the way to your comic shop, and they'll fix it for you. So, yeah, it's going to be a great week. Lots of quality, lots of quantity. So you can't ask for anything better than a shit ton of comics, a cold day, and time to read them, clearly.
A shit ton of comics.
This week, I look at that list and I see quality. A lot of good stuff coming out. I'm not sure which one's going to be my favorite. It could be a toss-up. And, you know, lately I've been playing a little Red Dead Redemption 2. I've been watching Daredevil Season 3. I'm used to quality now. Like, I sleep with Silk Sheiks over here. So I'm not, you know, I'm a jet-flying man. I'm a man of quality. So when I look at this list here, this is what I'm going to be expecting from these comics, and this is what I also am demanding. That this week, one of those books is going to blow me out of the water, and guess what? Good chance. So I know everybody else on this podcast can read shit, but for me, I need quality. I need silk sheets in the form of comic books. So, I mean, who knows?
I don't know. You read Daredevil, so...
Who knows?
I thought you were going to use the Fantastic Four jab at him.
Oh, no, because that's not even a comic right now.
Who knows? I might read Weatherman and catch up with that. Alex says it's fantastic. I don't know, though. Might be good. Who knows? Skyward, who knows? I'm not on that book yet, but these guys says it's good. So sometimes, you know, they throw out good recommendations. And what I say is you listening to this. That's what this whole thing's about. you listen to these recommendations, you go out there, you pick them out, and you want to read them. Skyward is up to issue 8, so the first 5 are on Hoopla, so go ahead and read if you want to. But I mean, we're getting close to the holidays. This is what it's about, quality. Make sure you give your friends quality gifts, and that's what we say here. Pick up a couple of issues, throw them their way, and say, hey, comic books are the way to go, baby. My name is Marvin.
I'm Alex.
I'm Garrett.
Hey, everyone. Keep reading those books.